Is the 4th of July, and we celebrate the 245th birthday, if you will, of the United States of America. I want to take this moment to point something out. Well, I could take this moment to point a lot of things out, but I'm going to focus on something very specific and kind of significant in an abstract way. It is a conceit among the American people, particularly among American intellectuals, that we are a new state. We are a new country. And that is sometimes used to say, we're just finding a way, excuse us when we, commit atrocities in foreign countries, or that we have some kind of special energy because we're new. But a young country is probably a better way to say that. But it's more complicated than that. We are a young people, in a sense. There was, in a very meaningful way, no such thing as the American people before July 4th, 1776. They were British subjects, they were Native Americans, they were slaves, but there was no American people. Since then, there have been an American people, but that's only 245 years ago. We can think of a lot of other peoples that can trace their roots much back than that. For example, the Chinese people, Japanese people. These countries have much longer histories in that regard. But in terms of being a cohesive state, we're not that new. There are many states, many countries that are much younger than us. We have a continuous history as a functioning, unified, more or less polity since 1776. There are, of course, periods like the Civil War, but even in the Civil War, there was an American president and American government. That is not true for many, many places around the world. The reason I say this is that we are not a new state in political terms. We are an old state. And we are an old state that may be in its dying phase right now. And as we sit here on July 4th, and because of the new president, we are now at a vaccination rate where we can actually celebrate this July 4th very differently than we did last year. But as we do that, we should think a little bit about if we want to make it another 245 years, we're not going to do it if 40% of the country belongs to a death cult. If 30 for some or 20% of the country believes these bizarre theories from QAnon and other cults. And if people really think that Donald Trump is some kind of God incarnate. And, most importantly, if we cling on to white supremacy, the worst legacy of our early history that continues today. If we do those things, we're not going to make it another 45 years, let alone another 245.